Hello. So, hi everybody. Everyone knows me. My name is Shadi Pezeshki, and I have the honor and privilege to introduce to you Ricky Zarate. Ricky's been working with me for more than a couple of years, and he's an amazing, amazing person. Has a big heart. He's a great leader. He moved with love, and he's an herbalist, very successful at anything that he has touched and have done before. And I'm grateful that tonight, I last minute I told him I want you to do this session, and he took it upon himself and he said sure. And he actually never say no to me, and this is another time that he didn't say no to me, which is great, and I'm grateful for him. So Ricky, please start and go ahead over, take it over. Thank you.
Well, perfect. Thank you, Shadi, for that amazing introduction. I really appreciate it. Well, first, I wanted to say I'm thankful for being here, and thanks to everybody for coming to participate. And it's beautiful to see all of your beautiful faces. And we're gonna be doing a presentation, and it's gonna be a little different from the conventional presentation that we do. I think the slides that we're going to be showing show a little bit more like knowledge, product knowledge base of the water that we already drink and love, right? So this presentation was new to me this week, just a few days ago. So I'm gonna go through it I'm gonna go through it kind of fairly quickly, but in a way that we could understand it, just to like cut back on time, okay? So I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, awesome. All right, so right here, we show the K8, the many differences to use your Kangen water machine. I mean, I'm still amazed every day by all the uses that I can find Kangen water for. As Shadi said, my name is Ricky Zarate, and I live in Asheville, North Carolina now. And I've been using Kangen water for about 3 years. And as an herbalist and a holistic practitioner, there is literally infinite uses to Kangen water, and every day I find more. So let's talk about the water first, and then we'll talk a little bit more about some amazing things after. Okay, so different uses for Kangen water. Let's see. So we're gonna talk about our pH 11.5 strong alkaline water. We'll talk about the pH 8.5 through 9.5, which is your regular Kangen drinking water. And then we'll talk about our clean neutral pH water. And then we'll talk about our beauty water, amazing stuff about beauty water. And then our strong acidic water, which is our hypochlorous acid, our sterilant sanitizing water. And we'll also talk about the skin conditions, okay? And I actually have a story behind skin conditions that I won't get into, but it is a profound story. And I have Kangen water to thank for that. So here we go. This is a question that I get asked a lot here, okay? Like a lot of people get confused here. Like, where does the alkaline water come from? Like, and where does the acid water come from? You know, like, so to understand that, you always get the alkaline water from the top pH 8.5 through 11.5 will be coming out of the top hose. That's the alkaline. Only alkaline water would be coming out of that. And then your acid hose is the bottom one. I know that a lot of you guys know that, but there's friends who I've actually took the machine to their house and played with the machine and had them borrow it for like a day, and they still don't get it. So you know, just to kind of reiterate that. And then we'll go to the next slide here. This is one of our beautiful little level look SDs. All right, so here we go. Let's get into, you know, the knowledge of the water, right? So like I said, I'm just gonna kind of go over it. But I like this presentation because it kind of goes over some things that we kind of just forget having our machine, right? As many of you guys know, living life today causes a lot of inflammation in the body, whether it's you're breathing toxic air and fumes, whether you have, toxic things on your skin, like hand sanitizers, or, your body naturally throughout the day is releasing toxins. So how do you get rid of the anti-inflammatory? Well, before you go to bed, if you want a good night's sleep, you can actually drink just a little bit of this water, right? Half an ounce to 1 ounce of 11.5 before bedtime actually releases melatonin. And I actually had to look this up, okay? And the reason why it releases melatonin is because the gut and the brain share the same tissue. Have you ever got brain freeze when drinking a really cold glass of ice water or a Slurpee and you're like, oh, I got brain freeze? Well, that's really because the tissue in your stomach is the same tissue and the same nerve endings in your brain. So Kangen water has the ability, especially with 11.5, to hyperhydrate at the cellular level with the ability to release melatonin, which is found in the gland. I believe it's called the hypothalamus gland in the brain. Isn't that amazing? And then when you wake up in the morning, you get to use 11.5 to brush your teeth, right? So I really like the method of using 11.5 as toothpaste or as a mouth rinse. If you're like me and I'm an herbalist, I usually get a little bit of 11.5 and then I use essential oils like peppermint or clove or spearmint, whatever it is I feel like that day. And I'll put a drop or two and I'll rinse my mouth with it. And it really creates a really amazing alkaline environment for the mouth. So if you don't know, I used to work for a dentist for many, many, many years, actually. I actually wanted to go to school to be a dentist, and I decided not to after many years of working in the field. And one of the things I've never known was about Kangen water, but once I started using it myself and I saw the 360 change that it did to me in my mouth, I was amazed with Kangen water alone, right? And the main thing I was amazed with when I was doing my research was that if you guys have heard of probiotics and prebiotic, okay, toothpaste like Colgate or mouthwashes like Listerine or Scope or whatever, those things have chemicals in them that kill the probiotic and the prebiotic that is vital to your mouth, okay? Now, why are these bacterias that are good bacteria vital to your mouth? Because these bacterias have appetite for things like viruses, believe it or not, okay? So if you ever come in contact with any kind of virus, whether it's on your skin, your mouth, your nose, whatever, if you don't have the proper probiotic and the prebiotic to digest this pathogen, then it could potentially get through the layers of the skin and into your body. So using this 11.5 to rinse your mouth out is a powerful tool every day and every night. So just remember that, okay? We'll move on. And if you guys want to know more about that, we can learn that later. All right. Did I miss one? Okay, yeah. So constipation. All right. So I don't get constipation a lot, but if I eat a lot of cheese and stuff like that, then I kind of do. And even though I have the machine with me, I kind of forget that I can always just use a little bit of 11.5, okay, in the morning, and it'll kind of like get me going. It lubricates everything. 11.5 is very lubricating to the body, and it removes the inflammation that that constipation produces. How does constipation produce acid waste, and how does it produce that in your body? Because when you're not letting go of toxins and you're backed up, that stuff is literally rotting inside of you. And if your body has an inflammatory response and is not letting go of the toxins in the body, then they're going to be backed up right back into your cells, and then your cells will be sick. So if you want to have some lubrication down there, you can always start with a little bit of Kangen water, 11.5 pH early in the morning. Moving on quickly, puffy eyes and greasy eyes. Sometimes I don't get enough sleep. I'm sure anybody can relate to this. What I do is I get some cotton balls, and they have to be organic, okay? Because Kangen water will pull out the toxins from whatever you're putting into it. So if you're getting cotton balls that are just regular in a 99-cent store, then you better believe that those cotton balls were sprayed with chemicals and pesticide and herbicide. So go to the store and get yourself some organic cotton balls, dip them in the Kangen water, and you can wipe your eyes with it. You can take the makeup off. You can use it to reduce the puffiness. You can use it on your skin. It's an amazing pH to use. Now, chemotherapy. Now, this is a big one in my family because I personally have family that's gone through these types of harmful therapies. And even though these aren't always the things that we want to do, sometimes it's the things that needs to be done, right? Well, in order for us to mitigate some of and offset some of the quote unquote symptoms that we get, because you have to remember when you get these types of chemicalized therapy, that's what it is. It's chemotherapy. So these chemicalized therapies, what they do is they fill the body with positive ions, okay? These positive radioactive ions, what they do is they're supposed to supposedly kill whatever is going on with you. In this occasion, the cancer, the big C word, right? So in my opinion, you cannot kill an acid with an acid. So these doctors are using chemotherapy, which is a radioactive acid, and they're trying to kill an acid. That is never going to work. It doesn't matter how you put it in the science field, it'll never ever work. And this is why people die, okay? Kangen water is negative ions, and it's super alkaline. So you can drink a little bit of this. You can bathe your water with this, and it'll literally start to alkalize and absorb positive ions in the body. Okay, quickly to the next one, stroke. Why would 11.5 pH Kangen water be so good for strokes? Well, just like I explained earlier, usually strokes are caused by clots or backup in the body. When blood cannot get through, or when something cannot get through an artery or through a vein, then you're going to experience massive backup, okay? And believe it or not, the worst kind of backup that people get next to artery backup is lymphatic system backup, okay? And when you drink the 11.5, it allows for your body to alkalize, remove toxins, and get them out of the way. Remember that the brain and the stomach share the same myelin tissue. That means that when you drink the 11.5, it'll go straight to the brain. And the most beautiful thing about this that we haven't completely talked about yet is that this has electrical voltage. 11.5 p, all of the Kangen water that is produced through this machine has electrical voltage. That means that it has ability to ignite the cell with electricity, okay? The same way the electricity strikes the earth and the same way the electricity hits the water and it ionizes the earth and the water, and it's for the fruits and the veggies and the trees and for humans to absorb. This is the same way your body will absorb it. And if there's not enough conductancy in your body, then you will have a stroke. And how do we know if we don't have enough conductancy? Well, if we have an acid environment in our body and we don't take care of ourselves, that is how you get that. And if you're not drinking Kangen water, then we definitely know that there's a problem. So we'll go to the next one. I might be taking a little too long here, so I'm trying to hurry up. But all right, go. Arthritis, gout, muscle soreness, tissue injuries. What does all this have in common? Inflammation and acidity, right? Whenever you hit yourself, whenever you bang yourself, whenever you bruise yourself, your body releases cytokines. These cytokines are just a fancy word for cells from the immune system that cause inflammation, okay? Because these cells have been, they've been hit so hard that they actually create a positive ion environment, okay? Well, how do we get rid of that? Well, we can soak our body, we can soak our feet. We can, you know, we can soak our hands for arthritis, soak our feet. We can drink the water a little bit. We can get a towel and soak it, pull it out, and lay it on our skin. This goes the same for you if you're having chemotherapy on a certain area in your body. You can lay the towel inside of the 11.5 and place it on your body. And then this is another one that I really like. This next one is for heartburn, indigestion, and food poisoning. By the way, you guys should be taking screenshots of these because these are very important. I understand that we can send you this, but it's better if you have it right away. When someone asks you a question about any of these things, you can quickly send them this right here, okay? And then get them on a three-way call. So anyways, heartburn, indigestion, food poisoning, stomach flu. Now, drinking a little bit of 11.5, again, would raise the acid levels in the stomach, okay? Which is pretty good, right? 11.5 pH would work in any situation when you have a upset stomach because not only does it have really high alkalinity and electricity, but believe it or not, it also has sodium chloride, okay? And the sodium chloride, actually, once the body absorbs the water, the sodium chloride is what's left behind, and it has the ability to let the body start replenishing its digestive enzymes. Okay, like again, we can create another Zoom. We can talk more about that, but I just kind of want to go through it real quick. Okay. Bug spray, bug repellent, sunburn, pain, bug bites, and swelling. Again, it's very simple. There's only two sides to chemistry, acid and alkaline, okay? When you have a sunburn, when you have pain, when you have a bug bite, when you have swelling, that is because there's acid. How do you get rid of it? You alkalize it. You drink the water, you know? You know, a lot of people say, oh, I can alkalize drinking, you know, baking soda or drinking acid apple cider vinegar. Yes, you can do that, but with Kangen water, it's instantaneously, it's electrical, it's at the cellular level, it's immediate, right? So that's one of the beauties with this amazing device that we have. All right, next. So I think there's just a few more of these slides here. Are you guys having fun? Are you guys okay here?
Yes, very interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Allergies, cold symptoms, and snoring. All right, this is an awesome one. Okay, like I had to look this one up because again, I come from a family that's dealt with allergies and things like that, and one of the things that we've incorporated in my family is the nasal, you know, the nasal washes. And recently there's this machine that they sell on Amazon, and you just kind of put you put the stuff in it, and it comes with a little thing that you put in there, right? And I read the ingredients, and the ingredients said sodium chloride. So I was like, oh, well, I don't have to use this chemical. I could just use the Kangen water. And if you use 11.5, okay, and I've done this before, and because I have the system, okay, and if you're like me, I'm an herbalist, so I always like to put a little bit of herbs like eucalyptus, a drop of peppermint, or a drop of lemon, and shake it up and do a neti pot or a nasal rinse. This will literally get rid of, well, I'll just tell you what came out. A lot of boogers came out that I didn't even feel were in there. So what I'm saying is that the 11.5 water is so alkaline and it's so molecular. It has the ability to go in there and pull out the toxins from the cells, okay, that have this stuck in it. Now remember, we're outside breathing the air. And supposedly there's Corona and the Delta and the this one and the that one. And you can just go home and you can just, you know, do yourself a quick little neti pot and you'll be good. See what I'm saying? And this is the thing. The more that you use this every day, the more alkaline your body is. And this is the thing. I don't want to get into, you know, medical stuff, but I guess we can get into it, right? So this is the thing. This is what I tell everybody, right? Like viruses are not a living thing. A virus is not like a bacteria. A virus is not like a fungi. It's not a living thing. that means that you cannot kill it, okay? A virus is a piece of genetic material. It's a protein, okay? Proteins are not living things, okay? So my point here is that the only way that a protein can get stuck in your tissue is if you're not alkaline. If you're not very alkaline,
میاد
oh,
اینجا
can we mute?
اسپایه اینجا
Can we mute over here?
باز میکنه بابا تو لس آنجلس بکنید میاد اینجا بعد مثلا میاد پیش خونه پیش
Please mute yourself, Samara.
Hello?
شما شادی جان شما میشید سمنه رو میوت بکنید چون شما هست هستید به روی پارتیسیپنت
Ricky, you're the host. Mute everyone.
Oh wait, how do I mute that?
So you go to the participants روی کسی که باید میوت بشه رو کلیک بکنید اون میشه میوت make it mute.
Yeah. Well,
You have to say it in English.
All right, can you guys hear me now? We're good? Okay, good.
Yeah.
We're back. All right, perfect. All right. Sorry, I don't want to take a long time, but I kind of want to get to the point of this, right? All right, so here we go.
That's okay.
All right.
Take your time because I want everyone to be educated. Everyone who's on the call, this call is for people who have the machine. So
Perfect.
if you're someone that you do not have the machine, if you've been invited to it, you just be educated. That's okay. But mostly I want everyone to be educated about every single pH. Thank you, Ricky.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so I just want to say, like, I know that a lot of us have the machine here, and a lot of the things that I'm saying is very, very important information for you to know. But just remember that you can't always say this information out in the open. So just know that, okay? Now, oh wait, I gotta go back here. Oh. All right, let's see. All right, eye wash. So this is an amazing one. I want to just kind of like share a little testimony that's not mine, but that's my mom's. And she was actually having difficulty with her eyes, both eyes, but mainly one eye. And she started using the water to make an eye wash. And she was also putting a little bit of herbs in it, like 1 drop of herbs. And because I gotta tell you guys something, like the lymphatic system exists all over the body, okay? So anywhere that you have cells and lymphatic cells, your body drinks water. So in the eyes, your body drinks water. And there's lymphatic cells in your eye that needs to be detoxed too. So you can rinse your eye with this stuff, you know? This stuff's pretty amazing. One of the things that I'm working on right now is I'm working on a brochure for veterinarians so that they can do their rinses for their pets and their animals and all that stuff. And I'll share that with you guys in the future. All right, let's see. So I know some of you guys know this, you know, this is just telling you right here that, you know, you can remove the electrolysis enhancer tank from your machine so that the 11.5 won't be very, very alkaline, but it's still alkaline enough for you to use. That's up to your discretion. You figure out how you want to do it. All right, cool. So, all right, so let's get into the drinking waters, okay? So, you know, it's recommended to start drinking 8.5 pH. You know, it just depends on your body. And, you know, as distributors, you kind of know, like when you're talking to someone and you can see their body and you can talk about them and their health and you can kind of see like what kind of people these are. And you can kind of like tell them, oh, you should start here or maybe start there. You know, it just depends. My favorite water personally for me to drink, my favorite is 9.0. And I'll tell you guys why, but I'll tell you why in a little bit. But my favorite waters is 6.0 and 9.0. But anyways, so, you know, drinking alkaline water really promotes homeostasis in the body. Because like I said, every single cell respirates just like you. This is why we sweat and we release toxins, because when you inhale air, you inhale ionized air from the outside. And when you exhale air, you exhale acid, you exhale carbon dioxide, right? So your cells do the same thing. So it's very important for us to put this water in our body, because throughout our day, when we're in the middle of toxins, in the middle of LA, you know how it is, cars everywhere, everything, people, everything. So you put this in your body and it really, you know, every day we're releasing toxins, and believe it or not, the toxins is not what's killing us more than the body not being able to get rid of the toxins fast enough. See what I'm saying? So when you guys think about quote unquote like a virus coming into your body, you have to remember that you have to detox it. You know, this is why we talk about cellular detox, because there's no killing it. You got to get it out. You got to get it out. And if you're alkaline, and if you're drinking water, then you have your body's ability to be able to create an environment that's alkaline, that is not going to, you know, harbor a virus, right? So that's kind of what I was going. Okay, so look, cleansing symptoms. This is kind of one of my favorite parts, because I have a lot of friends that I give the water to, and then they start telling me that they have constipation. They start telling me they have fast stools, or sometimes they tell me that they do have skin eruptions. And I say, oh, good, because that means the water is working, you know, because, you know, going back to the same thing, we have to detox all of this out of the body. What causes coughing? What causes coughing? Phlegm. What's phlegm? Mucus. What's mucus? Acid waste from the cells. What causes loose bowels? Okay, loose bowels, you know, when people have loose bowels, is because the body is at a level of detox. It's trying to get rid of the toxins, you know. Skin eruptions are another, when you have a skin eruption, then you know that your body is kicking and is trying to detox something else, something out, you know. And headaches is just another, you know, level of toxins, because in herbalism, we always say if you have headaches all the time, then it's because there's something wrong with your intestinal tract. And believe it or not, a lot of the times it's parasites. We won't get into that right now, but all right, let's see. Okay, yeah, so it talks about the, you know, the ERW, the electrolyzed reduced water, contains extra hydrogen molecules, and it's very active, and it penetrates the cells very quickly, creating an amazing alkaline environment, you know. And it's good for cooking. All of you guys know that this is good for cooking. You know, whenever we do the test for the oil, or whenever we do the test with the supplement test, that alone right there tells you what this molecular water will do to your food when you're cooking it, you know. And before you cook it, obviously you'll clean your fruits and your veggies, and you're gonna alkaline them and keep them clean. I want to share this with you guys so that you guys will remember. Cooking with herbs and cooking with spices, and cooking with Kangen water. Really, I'm becoming a vegetarian, so I'm doing a lot of experiments without cooking meat, and using a lot of spices and herbs more than I used to. And I'm really seeing the difference of how it is using the Kangen water. Oh, aromatherapy. I love this aromatherapy. Okay, well, first of all, we'll talk about spider veins. Okay, why do we have spider veins? Does anybody know? Well, anyways, the reason why we have spider veins is because, first of all, it's lack of oxygen, right? It's lack of oxygen in the veins. But more than that, why is it lack of oxygen? Okay, it's lack of oxygen because there's not enough circulation in the veins and it gets stuck. But why is there not enough circulation? Because there's not enough hydration. There's not enough oxygen, okay? What is hydrogen and what is oxygen? First of all, we have to understand that hydrogen and oxygen, they're a gas. But when they come together as water, and they come together in liquid form, when we put them in the body, remember, like I said, your cells breathe just like you breathe. This is why we have aromatherapy, because aromatherapy is essential oils that you rub on your body, and just like you breathe and you absorb stuff, your cells breathe and they absorb stuff. So whenever you breathe lavender and you're like, oh, it smells so good, it's so calming, it's so easing to my mind, your cells are literally responding to that in the same manner. I want to share something real quick. I have a friend who's gonna buy a machine soon, and I went and I hooked up her machine to her house, and then I came home for the weekend, and it was Shabbat, and then I was here, and then I didn't see her again until like 3 days or 4 days. When I got to her house, the first thing I did was went to the Kangen water machine and got water. I sat down, I drank my water, and I did not realize how much tension and how much stress my body was holding until I drank the Kangen water. As soon as I drank it, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like homeostasis. Like I feel like I just smelled lavender because my body took that absorption, that electrical, that ionization, and it grounded me. It grounded me. This is why this electric water is so vital to the cells, because it grounds the cells. It grounds the cells. It's amazing. Aromatherapy and the spritzers. I love to make, I don't know if you guys can see my camera, but I love to make aromatherapy spritzers. And I have a few that I want to share. You guys see my screen?
No, baby. No, Ricky, it's just your picture, honey.
Okay. All right. Hold on a second. Let me see. All right. I want to just share some things real quick. All right. Can you see me? So I was with my friends and I was making these spritzers. I have a friend that's into crystals and gems and jewels and things like that. And she's really into high vibration ionization. And she gave me these little gems that she gave me, right? They're diamonds from Pakistan. And what we were playing, and we put some essential oils in them, and we put some 6.0 beauty water. And then now we're using this. And what's happening in this water is, since this water is electric and ionized, and the crystals in there are also electrical conductant, okay? When we mix this together, the essence of the diamonds gets infused into the water, and then you can just spritz it, okay? And anti-aging, you can create multiple kinds. This is the one I'm using now, and I use it with essential oils. And I'm gonna keep going here because I know it's getting a little lengthy, but I just get excited when I talk about this stuff. Anybody have any questions? Anybody?
No,
Anybody needs to?
great. You're doing great. Just continue so we can go ahead and get to the other pHs also.
Okay, perfect. So look, 7 pH is amazing, right? If you take your medicine, if you cook, it's good for babies. You know, it's good for a lot of things. This is one of my favorites right now, 6.0. You know, this is what I'm using in the hydrosols, in the aromatherapy. This is what I use in my diffuser. This is what I use on my skin, right? Because 6.0 is the same pH of the skin. So the skin is slightly acidic, okay? And since the skin is slightly acidic, 6.0 is a perfect conditioner to use it. Anti-aging, it replenishes the cells, it revitalizes the cells and electrifies the cells. When you use this with your, I like to use it with my herbs, but when you use this with your beauty products, it really enhances not only the absorption but the productivity. But I also feed my plants with it. I like carnivorous plants. Those are plants that eat bugs and that eat rodents. And I have a collection of those plants right now. And I'm actually giving them 6.0, and they are growing amazingly, okay? And right here you could see, you know, everything you can use 6.0 for. Look, you can boil eggs with it. I personally like to use 9.0, but so let's see, for washing and preparing fruits. I would prefer to use 11.5 for this. But this is another amazing thing that it does. Fabric softener. It works as a fabric softener. when you put it in your, it replaces your Downy or whatever it is that you use now, replaces that. And chemical-free solution, 100% green chemical-free solution. I wear eyeglasses, so this is an amazing thing. I used to spray my eyeglasses with chemicals and then put them right next to my eyes after I clean them with my fingers and my hands, and it was just chemicals right next to my eyes. Then you wonder why your eyes hurt so much. Maybe that's why you got to replace the Windex, because whenever you're spraying this stuff in the air, remember, these chemicals don't go away ever. These chemicals are made in a laboratory and they don't go away like water goes away and evaporates. So when you're breathing these things in, these things cause problems, right? And if you're using, you know, chemicals on your hardwood floors or your ceramic floors, then your body, your feet absorb so much so fast that you don't want to be walking around barefoot in a place where you're cleaning with chemicals, because even if it's pine sol or bleach, because those things get absorbed into the body as acids, right? But if you want to use an acid, then this is the one you'll use, hypochlorous acid, you know, 2.5 pH. Now, this is the only machine on the face of the earth. I've looked it up. And I went to every machine, any other ionizing machine that they make right now. They say they make this, but it does not make 2.5, okay? And this is one of the most amazing waters. They're all amazing, but this is one of the most amazing waters, okay? Because this is a sterilant. Hypochlorous acid has the ability to kill over 100 harmful microorganisms in less than a minute. Most chemicals, industrial chemicals that they use in hospitals don't do this. And this is the thing, most of those bacteria and microbes and all those pathogens and fungi, all those things usually become resistant because they start to become more acclimated to the chemicals that people are using to kill them, so they're not dying. And then they wonder why there's rampant, you know, outbreaks in hospitals and in life, you know. But you guys know what to do. You guys know to use your 2.5 pH. Put it in a spritzer, spray it in your hands, spray it on your face, spray it on your arms, spray it wherever you need to. And let's see. So right here is just talking a little bit more about the hypochlorous acid, and it's very effective. It's non-toxic, 100% true disinfecting agent against viruses and bacteria. So remember, you cannot kill viruses, okay? Because they're not a living thing. Fungi, yes. Mold, yes. Bacteria, yes, okay? But the reason why it dies, which is the virus, is because this is electrical water. This is electrical conductant, okay? And this thing has the ability to zap the virus, okay? Because the virus, if you know the anatomy of the virus, it comes encapsulated in a lipid structure, and a lipid just means that it's a fat structure, okay? Do you guys know what Kangen water does to oil? It dissolves it. It breaks it apart. So that is why this is so powerful against viruses, right? And this is a skin routine. This is a skin routine that you can do if you have any skin issues with the 2.5, because it has the ability to kill viruses and bacteria on the skin. Believe it or not, a lot of the times when people have stuff that they have outbreaks, it's because it's an immune response. It's an immune response. So you want to drink the water. But sometimes these immune responses release toxins to the skin. And as the skin is trying to heal, sometimes it starts to get infected. So you will use the 2.5 to be able to mitigate that and to start healing it pretty quickly. And I mean, Shadi can tell you, anybody who knows me can tell you, part of the reason why I have Kangen water in my life is because I suffered my own situation with my skin conditions. You know, doctors told me that I had you know, it was what they called it, a autoimmune disease that was eating away the proteins in my body. Well, remember, we talked about the proteins, and they were trying to give me medicine that was killing the proteins. And it was making my skin worse. And they were telling me that there's no cure for it. So, you know, I found Kangen water later in life. And that is really when I started seeing true healing, you know, inside and out, you know. And that's a story for another day. But I believe this is it. how's everyone doing? I have another slide, and I just want to spend really a momentous moment there, okay?
Ricky, sorry, did you have psoriasis?
No, it was a autoimmune disease, and it was called, I don't remember what it was called, but it was similar to psoriasis.
Right.
But listen, I want to show you guys this other amazing thing. So I've been doing like a little bit of experimenting. I've been doing a little bit of research on a lot of things, right? And I really been into frequency healing. As you guys know, I'm an herbalist. Part of what I did in school was I went to school to study vibrational medicine in the plants. And we learned about water as well in its natural state. And I knew about Kangen then, but I didn't have a machine then, So now, like I said, this is truly unlocking so many codes for me now that I've been drinking the water for 3 years straight. So this is average frequency of a person. They've measured this, okay? And I guess they would call it normal people, workers, whatever they call that. I'm not sure, but this is the average frequency of a normal standard person, 37%. Okay. And then the frequency of high achievers is the frequency is more active, right? They use their mind more. They probably eat better, healthier. They probably work out. They probably spend time with thinking about more positive things for their life, right? And we have an advantage here as Kangen water drinkers. We have an advantage because we're blessed with this water. And every day, success is beckoning at us. And when you have Kangen water, you have the ability to ignite your body, okay, at the electrical level. Remember, the gut and the brain share the same myelin sheath. So you want to be able to drink this water and get your charge going early. So talking about frequencies, okay, scientists have measured, and I'm just going to go through this really quickly. I can create another Zoom where we can go more into depth and more into all of this, but real quickly. Scientists have measured the frequency of life, okay? They've measured the frequency of water. They measured the frequency of the sun. They measured the frequency of the blood of humans. They measured the frequency of plants. And they measured the frequency of so many other substances. And what they find is that even though a lot of these things have different frequencies, they all resonate with one. And that frequency is 528 hertz. This frequency is the vibration of blood. This frequency is a vibration of water and the sun rays. And it's even the frequency of your voice, believe it or not. This experiment is to observe how union react to the water, which has a specific frequency. I kind of took this out of a YouTube thing that I was watching, but I wanted to bring this to you guys just to kind of show you guys a little bit of this. Now, Nikola Tesla's an amazing guy, and he always said this: if you wish to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, the 6, and the 9, then you would have a key to the universe. Now, this is a guy who gave us Wi-Fi, he gave us sonar, he gave us he gave us wireless internet, he gave us wireless electricity, he even gave us the Tesla coil. Okay, very similar technology to the technology that we find in the Enagic machine. Not quite, but very similar. Okay, but the point I'm trying to get to here is that if you wish to understand the universe and even understand you are a part of the universe, then think of energy, frequency, and vibration. Because water is energy and it holds frequency and it is a vibration, okay? And if the vibration of water is 528 hertz, then you drink that water. And right down here where it says, if you only knew the magnificence of the numbers 3, 6, and 9. So first of all, I'm a very quote unquote, if you would call it that, spiritual person, I believe we're all spiritual beings, but some people become more aware and more enlightened in life than others, right? So now, remember when I told you that my favorite waters is 6 and 9? Because I want to just kind of go back to the beginnings here. In the beginning, when God created the world, okay, the earth, I would say, and he created the earth, and it was his spirit, it was himself, and it was his savior, his redeemer, right? That's 3. He created the earth in 6 days. And then on the 7th day, he rested. So 6 days, okay? But then the number 9 was what harmonized everything. Well, don't get confused here, okay? But the number 9 actually is what they've measured as the 528 frequency that harmonizes everything. So Dr. Leonard Horowitz, okay, he studied the love frequency of 528 hertz. The love frequency is a frequency that is central to the musical mathematical matrix of creation. That means when God was speaking and his voice, okay, was creating everything. It was creating the earth, everything, the water was hovering, his spirit was here, everything was in a perfect harmony, okay? And the first thing that was ever here was water. And water moves on the face of the earth, right? We'll continue a little bit. This is Dr. Leonard Horowitz, and he talks here about water and the frequency of water and how it will transform your life. So when you think about Enagic, think about the slogan, a slogan that has been around for how many years? 47 years. If you change your water, you will change your life. Now, 528 hertz is a frequency, and it has been determined that this frequency actually is the light spectrum. Remember, I told you that light, that the sun's light rays have been measured as 528. Well, can I tell you or remind you what the sun is made out of? The sun is made out of hydrogen, the same thing that we're drinking. So whenever you're sweating, remember what's claiming its source. Hydrogen is claiming itself back. The sun is claiming its source. And the electromagnetic spectrum, the color spectrum, is what is inside of us. When we're drinking this water and its electrical conductancy inside of us has the ability to decode this spectrum inside of you. So just think on that, okay? This frequency is found everywhere, and mainly you can see it, and the frequency is mainly the color of green, and you can see the trees and their green color, and they drink ionized water, by the way, because they drink the electrical water that rains and when the lightning bolt strikes the earth, right? But this miraculous water is a miraculous key that opens doors, okay? And if we're not aware, and if we're not in tuned, and if we're not looking and intentfully searching, then we can miss it, even if you're drinking Kangen. But the thing is that we have an advantage here. I'm not saying that if you drink Kangen, listen, if you drink Kangen, you'll always be healthy no matter what. But what I'm saying is have the ability to unlock your code, okay? Because Kangen water, it's water. Remember, it's the water that God spoke into existence. It's a miraculous key that opens the doors that no man can close, and close doors that no man can open. And only God said that in his word, right? But ultimately, what has happened with this planet, as you know, and this is why we need Kangen, that we are in dissonance to another node. That means that we're in static. Remember the story I told you when I didn't drink Kangen water for 3 days, and then I went to the machine and got the water, and I sat and I drank it, and I felt that my body became grounded and rooted? That's because that's what that water did to me. So since I was in such dissonance drinking that water, it really holds the secret knowledge to the ancient music, because I believe that that's the way God created the earth, with his voice and music. Hallelujah, amen. But how much of your body is full of water? Do you know that? Do you know how much? Well, people say that it's 60, 70, 80. I believe it's 100%, okay? Because every bone, every living cell, the bone is what makes the blood. And if the bones are made of water and the blood is what's made in the bone, then how much water truly is in your body, right? Well, 93% of the function is in the DNA, right? 93% of DNA needs water to function, right? No matter what. So that'll tell you how much water. But see, I want to get back to this point here, where light and sound and the reception and the transmission of information through your cells, through your mind, what you're thinking. All of that is important. So if you're not saying affirmations to your water before you're drinking it, then you're missing a lot here, because that water is programmable with your voice, okay? And then you drink the program that you put in that water with your voice. You drink it and you swallow it, and you believe that your prayer is coming to fruition in your life. Hallelujah, amen, okay? Light and sound reception and transmission. Now, intercellular communication and cellular upregulation. Do you know what cellular upregulation means? It means that your cells are breathing. It means that they're drinking water and respirating. They're respirating just like you're respirating, just like you take the lavender or the herbs or whatever it is, your breath, you know, your cells breathe that. Water is the most energetic conductive of all, okay? It is the only thing on the face of the earth that conducts electricity. Without water, there is no conductivity. This is why you see light storms. This is why you see, you know, lightning in the sky. And this is why you see, you know, the sun, because without water, there is no electricity. There is no light. There is no energy to harvest. And guess what exists inside of you? Water and energy. So the root of the origin of numbers, you know, I believe that, you know, when Hashem spoke, he spoke everything in Hebrew, and everything's made out of Hebrew lettering. So anyways, your DNA is an energy amplifier coil. Remember Nikola Tesla that I was just telling you about? Well, he, quote unquote, he didn't discover, well, he did discover, it was already here, but he kind of discovered the coil. It's the same coil that the Tesla car uses today when it drives down the street. Well, that coil is the same coil that exists in your DNA, okay? And, you know, talking about the 3s and the 6 and the 9 again, you know, beauty water and then Kangen water. This is kind of a picture of a coil that is in your DNA. You know, I know that you guys know what it looks like. It's an antenna to the creator. It's an antenna to the creator. And when there's toxins, when there's toxins in there, when there's heavy metals, when there's parasites, when there's diseases, when there's viruses, when there's pharmaceuticals in your body, it reduces the electricity. It breaks down the antenna. It breaks it down so much that your body starts to, I don't want to say decay, but it starts to break down. You start to lose that conductivity. So it's important to replenish yourself with water. Every single cell of your body is made of water. Every single cell, you know? So, you know, here we have it, you know, electrolyzed reduced water. It's a natural process. A lightning strike on the water lasts 3 to 4 days. So that means that you have to be drinking your Kangen water every day, you know? And this is a beautiful picture here of the number 9 in the center. And, you know, if you see, this is, you know, this is kind of a depiction of a little bit of what I'm trying to talk to you about. And the number 9, it's seen here too. Look at the number 9. You know, you see the number 6 and the number 9, you know, in creation and galaxies and hurricanes. And here's a beautiful picture of the orchids that are growing right here by my house. Isn't that beautiful? And that's it for the presentation. I hope that you guys all enjoyed this. I know that it was probably a little lengthy, but
I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Ricky. You couldn't have said it better and educate everyone better than what you have done. It was incredible. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I can put the recording for everyone to share to your friends and family and who you love and you want them to live a happy, healthy life, because this water can truly do that for them.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. I know that it was a mouthful, but just little pieces for you to think on.